What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. So it was a crazy day yesterday and today, and it continues. So I know you guys have been watching the election returns, and it looks like right now, it looks like Joe Biden is going to be able to pull this out. Nothing has been, I mean, there are a few projections right now, but we have not heard anything from Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, but it looks like Joe Biden is in the driver's seat when it comes to picking up. All he needs right now are two states. So he needs either Nevada and Arizona, or if he can pull Georgia and one other state, then he's the president. So that's where we are right now. But we're going to talk about Mitch McConnell. That's what we're here to talk about today, because Mitch McConnell talked about the stimulus package. So we're going to talk about that. Now, Mitch McConnell, he won his seat. So he is returning to the Senate. Now, we don't know if he's going to be the majority leader or the minority leader. Right now, it looks like he's going to be the majority leader. It's leaning towards him being the majority leader. I think there's 6 outstanding seats right now. We have 47-47 tie. But what we're looking at right now, in Georgia, you might have 2 seats, 2 runoffs. And so if we get those 2 runoffs and you have Democrats that win those 2 seats, then now you have +2, and then it looks like Kelly in Arizona is going to win. So Kelly will win. That will be an additional seat, so that'll be 3. And if Biden can win the White House, then that means that the vice president will act on a tie. And so you could have 50-50 in the Senate, and then the vice president breaks the tie, which would mean that Chuck Schumer would be the leader. So the majority leader. So that's kind of where we are right now. But I want to take a look at Mitch McConnell's video. But before I do, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit that like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so Mitch McConnell did a press conference earlier today, and so we're going to go to that. He talked about the stimulus package. That's the only portion that I'm going to show. It's probably about 4 or 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Yeah, as I've said repeatedly in the last few months, we need another rescue package. The Senate goes back in session next Monday. Hopefully the partisan passions that prevented us from doing another rescue package will subside with the election. And I think we need to do it, and I think we need to do it before the end of the year.
Now, this is interesting because a few days ago, he said he wanted to wait until early 2021. Now he's saying he thinks it needs to be done before the end of the year.
As you noticed, we had some big differences about what to do. The Speaker laid out a $2.5 trillion package with all kinds of things that I felt were simply unrelated to the subject. I laid on the Senate floor, not once, but twice, $500 billion. We can all remember when that was a lot of money, targeting the school situation, the need to replenish the PPP small loan program, which has been an enormous success. 50,000 Kentucky businesses drew down $5.2 billion. Huge success. They need to be replenished. And we need another round for hospitals because clearly, the coronavirus is not gone. And
he sure is coughing an awful lot. I'm just saying.
in fact, we've got it worse now than we had it in the spring, I believe, and I think that's true in a lot of other states. So I think that's job one when we get back.
Now, you notice he didn't mention anything about direct payments, no stimulus checks or anything. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the skinny bills that he tried to pass before. So this might be one of those things he's going to try to push that forward again and see where it goes. All right, let's go and continue.
Hopefully with a more cooperative situation than we had. And we also need to fund the government. And the Speaker and I agree that we ought to do an omnibus appropriation bill and do it in December, no matter who wins the election.
All right, so funding the government, this is going to be big because in December, that's when they made the agreement until December, and then they're going to have to look at it in December to fund the government. So this could spur some more talk when it comes to another stimulus package. And Nancy Pelosi, she might, in this situation, she might try to tie things in just because she knows that's coming. They don't want to shut the government down, so they might want to address it right now and do everything, do the stimulus package plus fund the government. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
It's a basic function of government that we haven't handled very well in recent years, and we need to do that. So we have two big things to do here before the end of the year, and it won't surprise you to know there's some more judges to do.
Of course, more judges, right? Of course.
Surprise any of you. And we're going to continue to confirm lifetime appointments to the courts as well. Well, we've already sent Louisville, I believe, I don't know, Terry, do you have the figure? It's $137 million or something like that. Yeah. We did $150 billion for state and local government in the CARES Act, which basically was written by myself and my team. And it's a possibility that we will do more for state and local government. Many state and local governments are doing very well. So what happened as a result of that state and local plug that we put in the CARES Act is some states are flush, others aren't. And we need to look at the formula. If we do that again, we need to look at the formula and make sure there's a real need there. And also we need to make sure we're not basically allowing state and local governments to cover up or cover over pre-existing problems like pension problems and other problems that they've created for themselves.
Now, Mitch McConnell says this. President Trump says the same thing. They don't want to have, they don't want to give them money if they've been mishandling money in the past. But my response to that is you keep talking about the PPP funding, these loans, these forgivable loans. And are you checking the businesses out to make sure that they're not misused or they didn't misuse money in the past and they're just trying to pay off their past debt and things like that? So it's interesting to me when it comes to the businesses, they're, oh yeah, that's fine. We'll go ahead and allow them to get these forgivable loans. But when it comes to the state and local governments, now it's like, oh, hold on. We have to make sure you're spending the money the right way. And we don't want you to send this money to pensions and things like that, which, like I keep saying, when it comes to pensions, it's not the people who are working for those pensions. It's not their fault that a politician mishandled their money. So now you're going to punish the people who've been earning those pensions by not allowing them to get the pensions. I mean, if you have a state or local government that's really going through some hard times, and there's a situation where you have the COVID-19 and they're really going through hard times now, I mean, it's one of those situations where, look, give them the amount of money that they need for COVID-19. And if they have leftover money, allow them to spend it on what they need, what they think is necessary for them to spend it on. That's the way that I look at it. Because in the end, what you're going to have is you're going to have people who aren't going to be getting their pensions, and then they're going to be trying to get different aid from the government anyway. So you might as well try to handle that now. So I don't know. I really, I mean, if you want to be strict with state and local governments, that's okay, but you should be strict with businesses as well. And you should be looking at the airline industry and saying, well, we gave each airline $5 billion. I'm just using an example. Where's that $5 billion now? It's only 7 months later. Where's the money now? You want more money? How did you spend the money that we gave you the first time? So just stuff like that. If you want to be strict about it with state and local government, you should be strict with businesses as well. All right, let's go and continue.
And so it's not quite as simple as it sounds. This is a big item for the Democrats, as you can imagine, and they're still going to control the House, and so we'll have to reach some kind of agreement, but it's not something that my side is very, very fond of, because it's hard to figure out who really needs it and who doesn't. Well, as long as until we get the vaccine, we're still here. I mean, you all have seen me emphasize wearing a mask and practice social distancing since May, everywhere I go. And this vaccine is not going to go away till we kill it. So that's job one. We've already allocated an enormous amount of money toward testing, treatment, and vaccines. We may need to do more in the next.
I think you do need to do more. I mean, if you think about it, look at the situation that we're in right now. So we've already spent, in his words, a lot of money on the testing, treatment, and vaccines, but we're in the situation we're in now. So yes, you do need to spend more money.
Rescue package. Because ultimately, you got to kill the vaccine before we get back to normal.
And I agree. That's one thing that I agree when it comes to Mitch McConnell. Yes, he's right on point here. We need to take care of the virus. That should be our primary goal. Take care of the virus. Everything else will fall into place after that.
There's no other way to get back to normal. You can keep pumping money into the economy forever, and it won't solve the problem until we kill the virus. Having said that, there are other sectors that need help, and I outlined what I think is appropriate, but I don't get to make the final decision. We have to deal with the Democrats. And what I'm saying is, I think now that the election's over, the need is there, and we need to sit down and work this out. And state and local could end up being a part of it. I'd like to see it done a little more skillfully than simply providing borrowed money for everyone, regardless of their need.
All right, so that was it. He talked about some other things, but that was the stimulus package portion. So you kind of see he's pretty much saying the same thing he's been saying this whole time. He's not really changing much when it comes down to it, but he did say that he wants to get something done before the end of the year. So I think that's good news when it comes down to at least he's talking that way. Now, we don't know who's going to win the presidency. Right now it's leaning Joe Biden, but we don't know what's going to happen. And so after this video, I'm sure maybe tomorrow we'll know more information. Actually, I think even later tonight we'll probably know more information. But when it comes down to it, at least he's saying that he wants to try to get something done before the end of the year. Nancy Pelosi's also been saying that she thinks we should get something done before the end of the year. Donald Trump was saying that he wants to get something done before the end of the year. Now, if he loses, how is that going to play a role? Is he just going to be a lame duck president at that point and not want to move forward with anything? And then we'll have to wait for Joe Biden to come in January and do something. We'll have to see. I mean, is the president going to be motivated at all to do anything if he's not going to come back? I think one thing maybe he could think about this. The president could think if he doesn't get reelected, maybe this will be his legacy, trying to take care of this virus in the next 2 months. I don't know. We'll have to see where it goes when it comes down to it. So that was Mitch McConnell. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think there's a situation in the next couple months that we'll see another stimulus package? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.